It's to associate good people that I meet with Detroit itself, somewhere, unique and distinctive of Detroit itself. I personally have never been to this building, and this gentleman brought me here to explore some of it and to talk about it. Your name
Cortez.
is Anthony. And do you want to give your last name?
Ellis.
Okay, Anthony Ellis. And I met him. I was doing a job. My business that I have is doing handyman stuff, and so he found me online and went over to his house, and he's accomplishing himself in his house, redoing it, remodeling it, and got my attention that way. And one reason I wanted him on the video is, anybody that I respect personally, they take care of themselves first and foremost. And I believe if you take care of yourself, everything else follows suit in life. And so the first time that this man answered his door, he was dressed super nice, super classy. Every time I met him, he was super classy. And then I knew why he called me is because he didn't want to get dirty. And, but after working there, man, one day he came back downstairs and came down with his dirty boots and dirty pants and started working right alongside me. So I thought that was super cool that he was, doing all this and getting in there. And so he has my respect for not only being the type of person he is, but, going forward and getting his dreams done and handled. And so that's the point of Anthony being here. So,
Well, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
We're at the Fisher Building. What's not to like about this building? This building was built early 1900s. One of the famous architects of Detroit, Albert Kahn, is responsible for this building. The initial architect, Joseph Nathaniel French, originally designed this building in mind of it to have two more story, 30-story structures on it, but because of the Great Depression and because of World War II, the funding was not there. I mean, it's filled with granite, marble, limestone. It showcases the hard work and dedication to Detroit. I brought TJ here because, where else to take a person, in Detroit to showcase the beauty, the class, the grit, and the grind. I mean, thousands and thousands of people have passed through these doors, and it's incredible. Even in the revitalization of Detroit, it still plays a big part of how things are done.
So in the beginning, this building was constructed for what purpose?
The building was originally constructed for office space. This was kind of one of the new births of Detroit. It was what we call our new center. This was kind of where this was the hub, this was the start of where people would come, people would entertain. Down below us is a theater. People would gather, watch shows, live shows, before there was even a Fox theater. This was the place to gather.
That's what I was going to ask. Was the Fox built first or this place?
This place is from 1928. I think this place became one of the very first places in Detroit to be built, and then alongside the Fox.
Okay. And then there was a reconstruction of this place, right? Did it go downhill at one point? And then there was a remodeling, so to say?
There was a little bit of a concern during World War II. During the Great Depression, a lot of buildings were filled, similar to the Empire State, of being bombed. So on top of the roof was originally gold leaf plated, but because of the fears and concerns, they were sadly covered with asphalt. And during around 1930, or a little bit later, they tried to pull the asphalt up, but they did not want it to damage the roof. So
they just put the asphalt over the gold? Okay.
Which,
yeah.
I mean, actually you would not want to do to a building like this.
Yeah.
So to keep the integrity of the building, they eventually put know now is almost similar to a carbon roof. And at night, you can see this from anywhere and illuminates the roof in gold is symbolic of what was before.
Yeah. When you're driving around, you know, in Metro Detroit, and you kind of look this direction, it does overpower everything in its stance. I mean, it's very, you can see it for sure.
Well, the building was designed, the way that it was designed is to tower over everything. You know, and from every, like you said, every angle of Detroit, you see this as towering over everything. Of course, now we have more buildings that have been built, like the Book Cadillac Tower, the new Gilbert's tower that's going to be coming to the Old Hudson site, the Renaissance Center. But this is actually one of the very first towers to be built in Detroit. Considerably, if you look at the history, it was one of the tallest towers in Detroit before anything else. And I mean, the incredible work to put it together and to still come in and to see that it's maintained, it's fascinating.
Yeah. Now to skip gears a little bit, now that it gave us a little bit of background on the Fisher Building, we're going to ask you to give a little background on yourself, anything that you know you want anybody to know. But like I said, I noticed you from dressing classy, you know, stood you out from a lot of the rest, and then not on top of only you dressing classy, but you got to work right alongside of me, you know, putting your hands and getting gritty and, you know, making sure your house becomes something that you wanted to. So, you know, congratulations for that in the first part, but to let people understand you a little bit as a person, you know, what you got.
Well, I'm only gonna say this, we're in Detroit. We get dirty.
Not everybody.
But for the few that do, we get dirty. I learned from this, you know, the times, and even in this building, people migrating from one place to another, coming from one city to another. They were hard workers. They also had fun and looked good. And when you think about this building or the Ford plant or General Motors in a sense, that's what I learned. My whole thing is architecture. How does it look? How does it feel? How does it sound? The perception of a person is what you really want to see. That's why I brought him here, and that's why, you know, I don't mind getting dirty. I don't mind working inside somebody, because it's truly nobody can stop your dream. Nobody can stop your vision. All of this, what we're looking at today, came out of blueprints, and it became a reality. And sometimes you had to work with people. You had to get dirty. You gotta be a bad bitch to get shit done.
There you go. Yeah. And then what do you do as a lifestyle, you know, hobby type thing?
Well, hobbies, my hobbies, man, is I like to cook. You know, I can eat. So if you're cooking something good, of course you're gonna eat it. And then, you know, on my free time, I'm more so, you know, thinking about my next plan. Okay, how can something go here? How can something go there? And then you catch me in the yard a whole lot of times, or probably on the field, you know, playing some golf. You know, it's a nice day today, so I should be out there, but I'm not. But that's what I like to do.
Yeah, right on. And then today he was telling me you need to be schooled a little bit on the kicks that he's got. And
man,
I've seen his collection in his house. You know, he's got this wall full of like all these shoes. So
these are the Jordan Mid ones. We're gonna get them a pair. I'll make sure I gift them a pair eventually. Man, they have a lot of class, style. They even tell a story in the time period that I grew up in, and I grew up in '93, so we were all wearing these. And our famous basketball player, Michael Jordan, they all wore this. And you know, we seen these in. I remember I first seen these in Spike Lee's movie, Do the Right Thing.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. So these are incredible kicks, and they're a little change for me outside of the work clothes, so I can have a little fun, a little flexibility.
Yeah, right on. Well, cool. It was a pleasure to have you here.
Appreciate
And,
you, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Enjoy Detroit.
And welcome Anthony to the BMS family. Yeah.